Hey, there you are, Omar. So, you've been reading X-Men comics for over 30 years. What would you say are the most defining moments of the series?
I'm so glad you asked, Tina. Because today, with your help, I'm going to be sharing the top 20 best moments in X-Men comics history. Bub.
We're just sticking to X-Men titles, so no spin-off series like Wolverine, X-Factor, and the New Mutants.
And just in case, spoilers!
Magneto is supreme.
Number 20. What am I going to do with 14 X-Men? Professor Xavier's answer came in the form of two groups. The gold team consisting of Storm, Jean Grey, Iceman, Colossus, Archangel, and eventually Bishop would stay in Uncanny, while the blue team made up of Cyclops, Psylocke, Wolverine, Gambit, Rogue, Beast, and my favorite Jubilee would head the new title just called X-Men. This decision to split the team is still being utilized.
Tornado Claw.
Number 19. Little Uncle. After 17 years of writing X-Men, Chris Claremont was getting ready to leave the title, but not before he gave us one of his best stories. Reuniting Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow for the first time, through a series of flashbacks to 1941, we learn how the trio first met. Fighting off the Hand and Nazis that are led by Baron Strucker, Wolverine saves a young Natasha Romanoff from becoming a master assassin. And this is where she coins the nickname Little Uncle for the old knucklehead. At one point, Captain America even asked Wolverine if he ever thought about a team-up, and Wolvie just replies, "No thanks, I don't need a sidekick."
Side thrust!
Number 18. Will we meet again? Believing most of her teammates were dead, Psylocke, as a final act of desperation, manipulates the remaining X-Men into walking through the Siege Perilous, erasing their existence from the world and even making them forget who they ever were. It'd be years before the team was reunited, and some of the members were never the same again, especially Asian Psylocke.
Spiral Buster!
Number 17. Cable returns with hope. After the events of House of M, only 198 mutants remained. Everything changed when Cerebra picked up a new mutant signature, and it wasn't just the X-Men that were trying to find this newborn. This Messiah, properly named Hope, caused all kinds of chaos around her. In the end, she's revealed to be in the safest of hands she could have been in. Cable will not let anything happen to this baby that will one day grow to be the savior of mutant kind.
Head crush.
Number 16. Bar fight. Noticing that Colossus just broke Kitty Pryde's heart, Wolverine and Nightcrawler decide to take him out for some drinks. They purposely pick a fight with the Juggernaut at Al's bar and let their teammate get his ass handed to him. When asked why they didn't step in and help, they just let him know what it feels like to be betrayed by a teammate.
The human era is over.
Number 15. A dream worth fighting for. An alternate reality where Professor X is dead, Magneto leads the X-Men into a final fight against Apocalypse and his minions. Knowing the world is going to end, their only hope is to help Bishop get back to his timeline and set things straight. But the best moment comes when Magneto uses his powers to rip Apocalypse in half. I wish I could say that Eric, Rogue, and their baby Charles watched his sunset after a long battle. Unfortunately, not all stories have happy endings.
Drill Claw.
Number 14. Make peace with your gods. During the Mutant Massacre, the X-Men saw their Morlock friends get slaughtered by a band of new villains called the Marauders. While the crossover gave us some amazing moments like Wolverine vs. Sabretooth, Angel losing his wings, and Psylocke proving her worth, it was the moment that Colossus purposely decides to take a life that made our jaws drop. While he'd once killed Proteus unintentionally in the past, this is the moment that the purest X-Man snapped Riptide's neck in a fit of rage and changed the character forever.
Arctic attack!
Number 13. Sir, I'd like to shake your hand. The X-Men never got the praises that the Avengers received, or the love that Spider-Man got, all because they were mutants. But when 9 souls had to be sacrificed by Forge in a ritual to stop the adversary from destroying the world, everything changed. One man captured everything for the whole world to see. These unselfish heroes give their lives to save humanity. And it's his words to Wolverine that really makes people finally understand the definition of a true hero.
Berserker Barrage!
Number 12. My turn. With his teammates defeated and captured, it's up to Wolverine to take on the entire Hellfire Club army by himself. This is the first time we see Logan in a solo story and a glimpse of how badass he can be when he goes into Berserker mode.
Lightning attack!
Number 11. By all that's holy, it's you. It really is. Hailing from a future where the X-Men are dead and revered as heroes, Bishop travels back in time in pursuit of the escaped fugitive Fitzroy. Stranded in our time with people that he considers to be legends, he is conflicted when he comes face to face with the person that betrayed the X-Men and got them all killed.
You dare rise against me?
Number 10. The play is finished. After unleashing an electromagnetic pulse that is creating havoc all over the world, Professor X takes a handful of X-Men to Magneto's base in space called Avalon. It is here where Magneto finally does the unthinkable and tears the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton through every pore in his body. It was a moment that the fans knew would eventually happen, but we weren't ready when it actually did, nor were we ready for the ramifications that came afterwards.
Lightning storm!
Number 9. The best X-Man won. A powerless Storm and a new-to-fatherhood Cyclops fight for the leadership of the X-Men. Scott, bored with the life that he thought he wanted, returns to claim leadership of the team. What was supposed to be an easy win turns into one of the greatest fights for Cyclops. In the end, even without her powers, Aurora wins and Scott goes back home with his tail tucked between his legs. Well, until X-Factor. Claremont showed us that not only should a woman lead the most powerful team of mutants, but it should be one without powers at that.
Jean, splice!
Number 8. A very special dance. While there were many memorable moments at the wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix, nothing pulled at the heartstrings more than having Jean use her telekinesis to have a dance with Charles Xavier, who is confined to a wheelchair at this time. Professor X is afraid that some of the guests will know about her power, but during this beautiful moment of father and daughter dance, she couldn't care less.
The Svidanya!
Number 7. 2 words for you. We all cried when Colossus made the ultimate sacrifice to end the legacy virus. We cried when he came back from the dead to be reunited with Kitty Pryde. But no tears were shed as much as when the bad guy's getting away from the X-Man and Wolverine turns to Peter and says, "I got 2 words for you, bub." The mention of the classic fastball special just completed the whole return experience for us.
Scythe-blade!
Number 6. Would you like to talk about it? Team members dying is something the X-Men have gotten used to over the years. But when Illyana Rasputin, the once and powerful Magic, reverted back to a 7-year-old little girl and dies of the legacy virus, life just didn't seem fair. It was Jubilee's reaction that got us tearing up when she broke down and asked, why is it that they can defeat the Brood, the Acolytes, and the Sentinels, but when it comes to saving one little girl's life, nothing. A hard lesson in enjoying the moments together while we are alive is what matters.
Mission completed.
Number 5. No one saw it coming. When Professor Xavier's twin demented sister Cassandra Nova creates a new type of Sentinel, her first target is the nation Genosha. We see a country with a mutant population of over 16 million people decimated. Even under the protection of Magneto, all were helpless to stop the horrible robots from killing everyone and destroying the once huge metropolis. E is for extinction indeed.
Unit destroyed.
Number 4. Everybody dies. The first time you read Days of Future Past, you know that you are in for something completely different. It's the classic story where Kitty Pryde time travels from an apocalyptic future to stop an event that will trigger the Mutant Registration Act and the death of all her friends. In a perfect world, she would have stopped the events and gone back to her time to be with everybody. Well, that's not the way Chris Claremont and John Byrne wanted it. They took our childhood heroes and made us watch as they all helplessly died one by one. While she couldn't change the future, she was able to create a new one. But that still doesn't change those images forever embedded into our heads.
Optic blast.
Number 3. To me, my X-Men. Cyclops gets a lot of hate, but when the right author pens him, he can be one of the greatest characters in comics. Enter Joss Whedon. While the X-Men are trapped in the break world, Cyclops seems to have temporarily lost his powers, but it was just a ruse to get close enough to Kroon to blast the crap out of him. The story showed just how skillful a leader he is, but also just how much he can kick ass when needed.
Number 2. They're only words. God loves, man kills had many disturbing and classic moments for our band of mutants, but it was the words of a skinny Jewish girl that could phase through walls that stuck with us for years. When the word mutie is dropped in front of Kitty Pryde, Stevie, her dance instructor, doesn't understand why she let the word upset her. It's only when Kitty puts it so eloquently into perspective that we know this book was ahead of its time, mirroring real-life issues. Did that little white girl really drop the N-word? Damn, that's dope.
Ice beam.
Number 1. She died a human. When Jean Grey became the Dark Phoenix, she let the Phoenix Force take over her and was responsible for the death of an entire planet. The Shi'ar found her guilty and decided that Phoenix must be destroyed. The X-Men fought against the Imperial Guard for the life of their dear friend. In the end, when she felt the Dark Force taking over again, Jean unselfishly decides to take her own life because she could not be responsible for one more death. Well, sugars, that was about as much fun as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
I don't know what the hell Rogue's talking about, but those were my 20 top moments of X-Men comics. What are some of yours, bub?
Please like, subscribe, and share with everyone that you know.
We have tried something different for this episode, and comment below to tell us what you think. Do svidania.
And why do I always have to be the black person?
The X-Men never got the praises that the Avengers received, or the love that Spider-Man got.
Oh, what happened now?
The X-Men never got. You came in from Tennessee, sir.
I'll tell you what.
Dan looked up and I couldn't get me.
Don't look at each other! Don't look at each other! No more looking at each other!